Hello, how you all doing? My name is Ian, and I run a small little one-man band called Handyman plus Van in Swindon. And what I absolutely love about my job is actually making people happy. And the way I sort of started out was from the simple mindset of the acronym RICH. So realizing I create happiness. RICH, has really helped me along my way, and has meant that the end ultimate goal for me is to have a happy customer. Sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes situations, or you fix something and you've done it in a certain way, and then something comes loose, and then it's just a case of popping around and making sure it's all tight and it's all good. So I do, that very rarely happens to me, but because I'm very sort of I'm a little bit special in the way that I check things, and I'm very sort of like particular in how I go through the different jobs I do, and sort of a lot of the time I'll avoid super complicated jobs. I also avoid anything to do with electric or gas or any roofing jobs. That's mainly to do with my build and size. Most of my bread and butter jobs is simple handyman jobs, which involve putting up shelves, putting together flat pack furniture. I do plumbing, so this morning I was out fixing a toilet. The siphon on it had actually broken down over time. There's actually a diaphragm inside a siphon that then sort of like degrades over time, especially in hard water areas like Swindon. Gosh, I probably do a lot of toilet dual flush systems and siphons as probably my sort of like weekly sort of thing that I do. And then sort of like some very specialized taps. These taps I was working on today, they originally cost about sort of like 550 quid for a set of kitchen taps. So obviously it's a different, it's still the same materials. Obviously you're still talking about brass, aluminium, and it's just a case of sort of like the knowledge, the experience of working with those materials over time. I've built up over many years, so I know the techniques, and I know how these things function and work. So for me, I find it sort of a breeze to go through and do those different jobs, and I really get great satisfaction from doing silicone sealant around bath edges and showers. It's really rather satisfying when you get that beautiful straight line going around there. Yeah, there's nothing quite beats that feeling of having a nice clean straight line and a beautiful looking bathroom shower or kitchen sink. So I do, so that's my sort of bread and butter that I do, because a lot of people will like, what jobs do you do? Well, it's kind of what don't I do. So I don't do recycling. By that I mean sort of like waste collecting. So I don't do anything with waste management or waste collecting. I do have a license, a waste carrier's license. However, that's more to do with the fact that sometimes I take away sort of old taps and things like that. So I actually have to have a license to carry certain things that I actually carry anyway. So I'm really covered that way. But I don't go around and collect rubbish and things like that, but I do have a very good friend who does that for a living, and yeah, so that's all good. So the other thing I don't do is I obviously don't touch gas. I don't do cookers or anything sort of gas related with regards to boilers or anything like that, because I don't have a license to do that. I don't build brick walls in houses, because in order to build a brick wall in a house, you've got to be a brickie. So you've got to have a diploma and actually be able to lay bricks for a living. The other thing I don't do is electrics. So part of the license, part of the insurance that I have got covers me for doing certain parts of electrics, but I just generally sort of like steer clear of all electric jobs. Although I can, on the insurance that I've got, so if there's a light switch that is broken, I am permitted to then go along and I can replace it like for like. But generally speaking, no, I don't do anything electrical. I do flat roofs. I do a lot of doors and windows. So with regards to fitting a front door or fitting a brand new window, I do that. So if you want a quote to have a new front door or a new window, or equally, I also do, and I used to do it when I worked for the council, is sometimes you'd have the actual mechanism itself in the window fail. Now, a lot of window companies, they will just say, no, we're not going to touch that window. We are just going to give you a quote to replace a brand new window. And part of me agrees with what they're saying, yes, but I know myself from my experience that I can actually get windows open where the locking mechanism has failed because of my locks picking skills that I have. So I've spent many years practicing lock picking and locksmithing, and so I've got a real knack to be able to get a window open that is locked. So it's where you've replaced the handle, but the actual mechanism itself has failed. I can actually get those windows open. So if you do have a window that's stuck and you want the mechanism replaced, do give me a shout, and I can give you a quote for that. My booking system that I've got is working fantastically. I still do quotes, but the problem that I had is I had too many customers messaging me and I just couldn't get back to everybody. So I've got a little AI bot, and he's very helpful. He tends to go around in circles quite a lot. So you'll ask him a question and he will just go round and round. My partner said he's very good at fluffing. So don't know what that means. I think it just means that he's very good at like talking, but he's also very useful. I mean, I had one customer who was asking what type of flooring she should use in the bathroom, and the bot was coming up with some really good suggestions like, oh, you should use this, you should do this, you should do this. So I have many tools to run my business. Obviously my business is very labor intensive, so anything that saves me time ultimately helps me. So you got to understand, working for yourself by yourself is actually quite challenging, and most of the time I've just spent sort of trying to sort of work out how I can run my business more efficiently so that everybody is happy. So I'm always open to suggestions. If you do have any, I would love to hear them, and thank you so much for watching. Take care until next time. Bye bye.